What up? This is Robert Ory.
Or three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
From way downtown, back from China, is seven-time NBA champion Robert Ory. This is the Big Shot Bob podcast. That's B-Dog Brandon Harper with the gold headsets on today. My name is Rob Jenners. Rocking the Shacks, the old Shacks.
Oh, that's Shacks?
Well,
They look comfortable.
Well, they just been sitting in the drawer for a minute, so I figured why not?
We ain't done nothing with them.
He's not coming back to get him, so, you know.
No, he ain't. No,
possession is 9/10 of the law.
That's right. How was your trip overseas, dude?
Man, the China trip was so much fun, man. You know, the guy I work with over there, his name is Jack. Don't ask me how to pronounce his last name, but
okay.
He's such a great guy, man. We went to Qingdao. Qingdao is on the ocean, so it was a beautiful city, man. I had a great time, man. It was short, which I like. So I can get back to the state, hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
Get back to the States and realize the Braves suck. So
listen to me, man. Listen to me carefully. I built a whole game this week about the fact that the Braves suck, okay? It's called the horrible high-low game. We're going to get to it later in the show.
Man, but
we are on fire here in Atlanta.
And then my bracket's busted. You know, I had an SEC Final Four. So
did you do all SEC for the final?
I had all SEC teams.
Harp rolled with the number ones, and he got it. He got all four of them.
I got all four Final Four teams right.
Yeah. So we got a lot going on, man. Dude, I'll leave it to you. Where do you want to start, man? We got a Pistons Timberwolves fight for the ages.
That was fun.
We could talk about the Lakers. We could talk about the standings. We could talk about the Grizzlies firing Taylor Jenkins for some fucking weird reason. We can start with Kim Mulkey, torpedo bats. I mean, there's so much stuff on the docket today. You just tell me what you want to do.
You know what? Let's go with a topic that I don't know shit about. Let's go with the torpedo bats. I heard about what the Yankees are using. Everybody else has been ordering off the chain. So
apparently they just like on a regular baseball bat, they sort of like moved the barrel, the sweet spot, just down a little bit.
Well, they put more wood where the sweet spot is, so they kind of collapse all the thickness of the bat. All this is, I'm gonna say pause for all of this.
Yeah, I was gonna sound
really
I'm
weird.
taking all of this out of context.
The guy, I guess, I forget his name. He invented it a couple of years ago.
He works for the Marlins now. Yeah.
Yes, and I guess his philosophy was, why not pack more wood in the barrel of the bat? Pause. Like I said, I'm pausing all of this. Y'all just gotta bear with me.
I love it. This is good. I just want to watch you dig it. Just keep digging.
Why don't you put all of the wood at the barrel of the bat? Mm-hmm. And some, simple concept, but obviously players, and it's worked because the Yankees hit 8 home runs in the first game? Second game?
They've hit, 15 home runs through 3 games or something.
And they hit 8 in one game.
Yes, they hit 9. 9 home runs in a 20-9 route of on Saturday. I think it was like game 2 maybe, 2 or 3. But they beat the Brewers 20-9 on Saturday and hit 9 home runs.
And Aaron Judge had 3 of them.
Yeah, and Aaron
I saw that score. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I saw Aaron Judge. And then, of course, that favorite comedy thing, Riot, was, that's how I found out about it. I found out everything on Riot Comedy.
Yeah,
those guys are funny on Instagram.
So, needless to say, the Atlanta Braves have put in an order for torpedo bats because at this point they're just going to start batting with like those big Funko bats, the big soft plush ones that they teach kids to hit with Little League. Yeah, we need that. But I didn't, and it took me a minute because it threw me when everyone started using these. Apparently, they've been around for a year or two.
Yeah.
Like, there are certain guys around the league that will use them, which I didn't know. But it feels, I don't know, part of it feels like cheating, doesn't it?
It's within the rules.
I know, but it feels, I didn't say it was cheating. I said it feels like cheating.
Nah.
It's like, now we've re-engineered the bat, so it's nice and big in the middle, and that's where you're going to always make contact.
Because here's the thing. Everybody's saying, well, dang, if the Yankees are doing it, we should do it. But I think y'all also have to realize that the Yankees were hitting home runs before this.
Aaron Judge, I don't think, is using the torpedo bat, by the way.
And if you look at their lineup, and you've always looked at their lineup, they've always had home run hitting guys.
Of course.
So therefore, it's kind of like, Hey, what they say is not the wand, is the magician. So if you don't have the magicians, the wand ain't gonna help you. Now you can take that
Can we
however
pause
you want
this
to take
too?
that.
'Cause
You can take that however you want to take that.
I think I've said that to my wife a number of times. Not the wand, sweetheart. It's the magician.
It's the magician.
Oh, it's a good show title. It's not the wand, it's the magician. I'm just, for me, it feels like, I don't know. Part of me, and I don't know how you feel about this, Rob, but I think because we're just a little bit older of a generation, I feel more like, and I grew up with my dad and I talking baseball our whole lives. I mean, when my dad and I had nothing in common and nothing, we always had baseball.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is just a weird change to baseball.
I have to. I always laugh at. Remember back, what was the thing that the Bash brothers were using, and they got in trouble for?
Talking about Conseco and them?
Yeah, it was the stuff that they were using.
Yeah, it's called steroids.
It had a particular name.
HGH?
No, it was something else, but it was one of the guys from the Astros. I can't remember one of the Killer Bees, and he was like, "Well, hell, I started using it. My fucking my home runs went down." And it has a lot to do with the player. I don't care what bat you use. It has a lot to do with the player in my mind, because you can have the bat, but you got to have the hand-eye coordination. You know, you think about all these great hitters and, the great pitchers. Let's think about the great pitchers that the Braves had back in the day. There wasn't nobody knocking home runs on because the pitchers was fucking awesome. So I think it has it's the person that steps up to the plate. He can have a fucking straw. If he's a good hitter, he's gonna hit the damn ball. And I hate that these bats are now being used, but I still think it has a lot to do with the fucking hitter. He has to be able to have hand-eye coordination, and if you can't put the wood on the ball.
Like I said, this whole conversation has
put it out the park.
I love that we started with this right out of the gate. Yeah, it's all about talking about the girth of your wood. I don't know. Like we went straight to the dirtiest possible topic we could. I'm with you. I mean, look, it takes. I think what was there's a very famous quote that I'm going to literally butcher from Greg Maddux that was like, "I don't have to tip my pitches. I'm going to throw you like an 82-mile-an-hour sinker on the inside quarter of the plate, and you're not even going to swing at it. So I can tell you what I'm going to throw you because I'm that damn good." So, you're right. It's about, like, can you get around on a fastball? Can you hit a breaking ball? I get it. It just looks so weird. Like, it just looks weird to me, and I'm an old man when it comes to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you put something in front of me I'm just not used to, I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this.
See,
Eventually I come around, but I don't like it right now.
You've been in the South way too long, because Southern people don't like change at all, boy.
You're right,
like,
man.
No, I don't want that.
I've been out of Jersey too long, man. My Jersey side would have been like, the Yankees are hitting home runs. Hey, let's roll it out. You know what I mean? But the Southern me is just like, I don't like it.
But I think
that don't seem right.
But here's the thing, and I think we've spoken about this before, about baseball from a entertainment standpoint, trying to draw in the younger viewer. It's always, when you start talking about the big three, is baseball, basketball, football, baseball seems to always be the one last to the party because it tries to uphold every aspect of tradition. Yeah. And I understand there's certain aspects of tradition that you carry and it moves through the sands of times and it's relevant today. But there are certain things where I'm kind of like, look, you can let go of that. Like, if you want to attract a younger viewer, bat flips, sometimes guys wearing jewelry, sometimes,
I got no problem with that.
A lot of that adds the youthful nature to the game.
I hated the pitch clock at first. Now I love it.
Oh, I've always kind of liked pitch clock.
At first I was like, why are we doing this? No, I love it. I love the pitch clock now. I love it. It keeps the game moving.
I like the other thing too, where the hitters got to get up, the batters got to get in. Like, in Nomar, I love Nomar Garcia-Parra, but that Mo used to get him and do all this shit. Like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Readjust his gloves 10 times, do like a stretch, knock the dirt off his cleats, make sure his back is loose, and then 45 seconds later he's back in the box.
Yeah. So. Like, get your ass up there. You want to either hit it or not.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's just say that these bats do bring about more home runs, and you see an elevation in home runs this season, and the bats are the cause of it. I guarantee you can sit up here and say, oh, we need to get rid of the bats, but I guarantee the viewership numbers will tell you something different.
Probably.
And guess what comes with viewership? Money. So therefore, if the bats are bringing about more home runs, the only people that won't like it are the pitchers. But I'm gonna put it like this:
Because they got
ain't going to
incentives in their contracts.
Right.
Yeah.
People ain't going to see the pitchers. People are going to go see guys hit home runs. That's what fans want us. Even a casual fan wants to go see that.
Yeah, it's only about, I'd say about maybe 3 to 4 pitchers that in this league that people, oh shit, Snell's pitching today? Oh, I'm going to watch him.
Oh, Ohtani's on the mound? Oh yeah, I got to go see it.
Right.
Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 pitchers that people will go see because their stuff is so good.
But even when you go to see a pitcher, even when you go to see a pitcher, though, like if you go to see Ohtani or Sale, you want to see your team head up the lead. You don't want to watch a pitcher's duel into the 9th. I'm sorry, you don't. It's boring. No one's hit. No one's got a hit. No one's got a run. The game is like an hour and 4 minutes long. It's not as exciting. So it's like, you want to see Ohtani pitch well. But you also want to see the Dodgers throw up 12 runs, and the Braves can't hit the broadside of a barn right now. So it's like,
I stayed up and watched that BS last night.
Why did you do that to yourself?
Well, because throughout the first 5 games, I haven't really been able to catch them because of work. So it was my first game being able to sit down. It was late, but I was first game being able to sit down. I said, "Oh, they're playing the Dodgers. Let me check it." I turned that channel. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I ain't even allowed
Dodgers, like the Braves, they need the cricket bats.
They're gonna start playing with like rowing ours. Just at that big flat surface.
I know where.
And even then, they're gonna strike out 9 times in a game. God, son of a bitch.
Like we couldn't have any more losses. Now we lose our left fielder for 80 games, pretty much the rest of the season because he's not eligible for the playoffs if we do make.
Yeah, see, we don't need torpedo bats. Our guys just do steroids, like old-fashioned baseball, right?
No, we don't need torpedo bats. We need tryouts. If you want to be the left fielder for the Braves, we're holding tryouts.
Oh, for real. Rob, look, man, if you're looking to catch a contract, you might be able to, I'm just saying, you might be able to catch a minor league deal in left field just because you're tall. Robert Ory's going to bring you back a couple of runs every year over the wall. I'm just saying. Height-wise alone. As the great Bob Uecker once said, unless that's Shaquille O'Neal in left, that baby's out of here. All right, well, where do you want to go now? I'm letting you drive the bus today. Pistons, Wolves fight?
Let's go with the firing.
Go with the fire? Yeah, okay. Because I honestly, I want you guys to help me make sense. We're on the weird shit train today. You're right.
Yeah.
Make sense of this for me because I can't. Here, I'm going to give you the numbers and then let you guys go off on this. The Grizzlies are 44-30. There's 8 games left in the season. They were the team no one was really talking about coming into this year. They're the 5 seed in the West right now. And we've talked plenty about the fact that the West is a crowded field. And then yet for some reason with 8 games left in the season on the brink of the playoffs, not the play-in, you likely will have a shot to stay out of the play-in and go straight to the playoffs as the 5 seed or the 6 seed. You fire Taylor Jenkins. Help me make sense of why the timing of this. Now, I don't, the why, there could be a million reasons why. The thing that throws me here is the timing. That's what I don't get.
I don't understand it either.
That's what I'm about. I was like, okay, if you're gonna fire this guy, fire him at the end of the season. But right now, you got a great chance of positioning yourself in the standings to be maybe a 4, 5, or 6 seed. Now, I can probably think what sometimes GM's like, if I fire him now, it's going to bring a new fire to the organization. It's going to light a fire. Knows I'm using the word fire. And all these players, But really, it's like when they say, coach has lost the locker room, you have to be one of those guys that's inside the locker room. Because I've been a part of one fire. We fired Dale Harris, and Dale Harris never had that locker room. He didn't have that locker room from the moment I got traded up, because I could just see how I ain't gonna call no guys out, how they were like cursing Dale out, saying, "Man, you don't know how to fucking coach. Fuck you. You stupid motherfucker." Like saying all kind of crazy shit to the coach.
They would say that to Dale Harris?
They would say this to the coach, man. Fucking, we ain't running that shit. We gonna run what the fuck we want to run. I'm in the huddle like this, like, damn, what the fuck did I come to? I thought it was a Lakers organization.
Now, I've heard Shaq say he had no faith in him, but I've never heard that.
No, but this, this wasn't Shaq saying it. It was
No,
some
no,
other
I know,
player.
but I'm saying I've heard him say, but I've never heard anybody say that they would just sit in the huddle and cuss out Del Harris.
Oh man, it was bad. It was bad, but it was and so that's like, and I don't know if that's happening in Memphis or whatnot, but it's just a guy who's won more games for that organization than anybody. The fact that you put them, I think at one point it was second
Yeah.
in the West. And nobody was talking about him. He was doing that old pop thing where, damn, Memphis is winning. They in the second. And nobody's talking about them because this was just one of those ones you got to be a player. You need to have a player to say, I need the inside scoop because that's weird, me. That's very weird.
It must be, I don't know what his relationship was with, Ja Morant. I know there have been rumors about Ja possibly wanting to be traded, or there have been some whispers about stuff like that. You always hear whispers, people starting to ruin meal and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if it has anything to do with that. What's the relationship like between the two? There has to be something really toxic going on in order for you to fire a coach in the middle of the season that has this team in the 5th spot in the West.
You're not even in the middle of the season. You got 8 games to play.
End of the season, shall I say?
You got 8 games left.
You're right.
If you would have fired him at the All-Star break, I could have probably paladed that.
Yeah.
Like, I probably could have been like, all right, this wasn't working for
But even
them.
at the All-Star break, where were they?
They were still up there. I don't think they were the 2 seed, but I bet you
But
they
they were
probably
still in
right
the
where they
mix.
were. Yeah.
They were a 3 seed.
Were they the 3 seed at the All-Star
I think they
break?
were the
There you
3
go.
seed.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they were in the mix.
So his firing at no point in time would have made any sense.
No. But with 8 games left on the precipice of the playoffs, I really have a hard time with it. Now, again, we don't know the why. And we're probably not going to know the why unless they come out and say, here's why we did what we did.
It'll come out later.
Yeah,
probably.
but I mean, unless it was a situation where it was like you said, something crazy toxic, or he had a bad relation, or something happened with the front office where they just felt like we have to fire this guy,
Right.
and then we don't know that story because you can speculate all you want, but we're never going to really know the truth. The timing of it is what makes me think it had to be something like that, because otherwise, like you said, Rob, you wait till the season's over, you see how the playoffs play out, and you cut ties with them and you move on, and you have a whole off season to interview and find your next guy. Well, now you're going into the playoffs with an interim head coach. Trying to rally a locker room, and arguably the hardest time of the year to rally a locker room. I can't wrap my head around it, man.
Yeah. And who took over as coach now?
I don't know.
Pretty sure. I'm not sure. One of them interims.
Who he coached for? We don't know.
Yeah,
man.
who he coached
we
for
don't even
now.
know.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you this, though. Taylor Jenkins' records so far in Memphis. 2019, 2020, they were 34 and 39. They made the play-in. 2021, 20 to 2021, 38-34, they were the 8th seed. They lost in the first round. 21-22, they were 56 and 26. That was the year that we were really hyping them up. They were the 2nd seed. They lost in the second round. 22-23, the 2nd seed again, 51 and 31. Lost in the first round that year. And then the Ja thing happened in 23-24. They were only 27 and 55. They finished 13th in the West without Ja Morant. But then you get 24-25. Here they are, currently sitting at the 5 seed. So, I mean, he's had a good run with them. He took them from a play-in to the 8 seed to the 2 seed twice. So he's gotten a lot out of what he's had. Now, how much of that is on guys like Ja Morant? Because you could see the year he didn't have him, you didn't get very much out of him.
Yeah, but also, if you look at their record after the All-Star break, it's been boo-boo. It's been real boo-boo. And so I can understand, sometimes, you always judge coaches and teams. Goes, the real season start after the All-Star break. This is what we're going to, look at. And his schedule, who they beaten after the All-Star break and who they lost to, it's kind of a bad record, but maybe they're looking at that. That's the only thing I can just, wrap my head around. So, okay.
I feel like it's got to be something more than that. It's got to be more than that. It can't just be we had a few bad losses after the All-Star break, because half the league would be out of a coaching job if it was we had a few bad losses after the All-Star break. I mean, it's got there's something we don't know. And then, I mean, look, I get it. It's not our business, but like you got for it to be the timing of what it is. I feel like at some point they're going to have to come out and go, here's why we made this move. Because otherwise, you're just going to you got a fan base spinning right now with a team that they feel like they can get behind too. By the way, a team that they bailed on last year for obvious reasons, and now all of a sudden here they are. They've been playing well this year. They're making some noise. They're sitting at the 5 seed, and now you're the Mavs. You just got them going. What are we doing? So, I don't know. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
All right. Where you want to go now? We got Kim Mulkey. We got the fight.
No, we gotta go to the fight next.
Oh, all right, we go fight. Let's go fight.
Yeah, let's go fight.
Let's go fight. This is the Pistons and the Timberwolves on Thursday night. Go.
Reed turned the corner and is fouled by Holland.
Man, oh, come on now.
Stevens, big time brawl now in the front row.
Gotta stay.
It's going to take a lot to break this up.
You gotta stay out of the crowd. This is not good.
This has been building on the last handful of possessions.
Yeah, at least the announcer said it right too. He's like, you got to stay out of the crowd, man. Keep this out of the crowd. Once you get into the crowd, that's when you get major problems. Let me give you the rundown on what happened. Ready?
Yes. Go.
This was over 8 minutes left in the first half. This was Naz Reid and Ron Holland got into it. The fight resulted with the Pistons losing Holland, Isaiah Stewart, Marcus Sasser, and J.B. Bickerstaff, the head coach, got bounced. All got tossed. Meanwhile, Reed, Donovan DiVincenzo, and assistant coach Pablo Prigioni also thrown out for the Timberwolves.
So
Yeah, just a good old-fashioned basketball brawl with like 7 or 8 people getting bounced.
So Isaiah Stewart gets 2-game suspension,
Yes.
and 4 other players get a 1-game suspension. So
There you go.
that's what that is.
That's how.
But you know why Isaiah Stewart got? He just, he better be careful, man. He better be careful because I don't know what's going on with him, but when he gets in something, man, that mug go bananas, man. He be like want to beat up the whole crowd. So he better be careful, man, because he's a hard playing guy, but sometimes he's a loose cannon. But you know what's weird? In that, I didn't understand why Naz Reid was so upset. It's like it was just a regular foul.
Yeah, it was a regular foul.
Well, they said it had
and
been
then-
building. I went back and watched a little of it just to see, and they were getting chippy. But nothing
but that was just a
of
foul.
what I saw jumped out as like, okay, this is going to end in a fight. Like there's nothing there that jumped out.
And then I'm like, Nas was actually trying to pull his own guy off the foul, so out the ruckus. So I wasn't mad with that, but it was just a weird thing, man. Where you go over into the crowd and one fan pushing everybody back.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
Yeah,
and I've
funny,
watched.
man.
It's pretty crazy to watch all the different angles of the fight too.
Yeah,
Because you start getting all the fan videos and stuff.
especially the camera when the cameraman like, oh shit, they falling on top of me.
Yeah, and they are like all literally. There's that angle where they're all just like crawling all over.
But that's the, everybody's talking about the new bad boy Pistons and things of that nature. But
Chippy, baby.
hey, Isaiah Stewart be looking for it, boy. It's like it's like a skater that is skating around the ice without a
hockey stick.
Hockey
Yeah,
stick.
he's just looking to punch
fight.
somebody.
Yeah, that's it.
He's a goon.
Looking for trouble.
He's an enforcer.
Yeah, that's all. Somebody
Yeah.
said, "Oh, this is the one time Isaiah Stewart gets to display his talent." I said, "Well, dang."
Well, okay. That catch you a 2-way contract somewhere, man. I'm just saying. It's gonna get but dude, I don't mind, and I don't mind a big basketball fight every now and then, much like a baseball fight, as long as it doesn't happen a lot. The occasional, I hate when it gets into the crowd, just because once you get into the crowd, that causes a litany of problems because fans get involved, and all you need is a fan suing the NBA or some shit, and then the whole thing goes sideways.
But
so that I'm not a fan of. But
Yeah, they covered it. The NBA covered their asses. I don't know now because there are no more tickets, but there's a disclaimer on the ticket.
that says if you're I've seen that before. Yeah, that's
They
like if
cover their ass
you
now.
admit into the stadium, you're waiving your right to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, every pro sports ticket now has got like the fine print on the back. That's like, you can't come after us. This was your fault for buying a front row ticket. That's what happens.
Yeah,
but I
You
don't
want to
I
be
don't
up
mind.
and close?
Yeah, I don't mind a fight.
Them cameramen be getting killed down there,
Oh
boy.
man,
Oh
those boys.
man.
Dude.
And think about it, you can't even protect yourself. At halftime, they got their legs crossed and they're like this.
Yeah.
And when you get hit, you can just only go with the flow.
The
You
only
just stuck like
place
that.
you can go is back into the crowd, and there's probably a knee waiting right behind you.
Yeah, and think about all those guys just like swinging. You gonna get, and they trying to grab. You getting scratched across the face. It's crazy. Cause I remember the one with Shaq, and we almost went into the crowd in Chicago, You know, that was a crazy one. That's the only one that I ever been involved in that kind of outside of the Vernon thing.
I was going to say, you were in the stands during the Maxwell fight. What the hell are you talking about?
It wasn't a fight. It was just a push, and then, you know, no punches were thrown. And so that's the only time with that one. And because I wasn't involved in the Charles and Shaq one because I was on the bench at the time. So I think, yeah, but the Chicago one was the only one that we kind of went into the crowd.
Let me ask you a question. Is there sort of like an understanding that if something gets too chippy and people start throwing blows, that the benches just come in? Because it was like everybody and their little sister in this one was like, I got to get in there. And it was like, no. Stay over there. Let the refs break it up. I think that's why Bickerstaff got bounced, because he was trying to get in there and break it up, but he was in the middle of it and shoving people, and I was like, okay.
He was shoving people and grabbing people and cussing people out and pointing at people. You know,
that's
he's so
why
funny.
Got popped,
I think Bickerstaff has become a part of that whole Isaiah Stewart thing. He's just like going off on everything now, which I love.
Well, he set the tempo for that.
Coaches. Yeah, and for me, it's like, you know, coaches are allowed to come on the floor, and now you have a designated coach. When something breaks out, they run like this in front of the players, like no, and keeps everybody on the bench. So you don't have to worry about, you know. I think that was probably because of me.
Okay.
You know, that's the body check Steve Nash and the guys from.
That's when you was in San Antonio, right?
Yeah. I remember Steve Nash's little body going into that table, just like looked like you broke him in half.
All that acting he was doing, all that flopping he did on that shit.
Oh, is that right?
Like, yeah, that motherfucker was flopping because I ain't hit him that hard.
I don't know, man. He went down like a ton of bricks, bro.
Because he's a flopper.
Okay. I'm gonna go back and do a little. We're gonna do a little film review on that.
This is when you hit somebody, you do this. I never did this. I went over there and just stood still. Hey, I called the wall and a tennis ball.
Hold up. You did a little bit more than stand still, because if you watch back on that, you stand there, but you sort of lean into it, just kind of like, guess where you're going?
I was bracing.
You're going this way, buddy.
I was bracing myself for the tennis ball to hit this wall. Okay. You see who bounced off, right? I didn't even move. Get off me, little shit.
I know. Wow. Be careful.
He's hosting that podcast with LeBron now, man. They may come for you, buddy. I'm just saying.
LeBron's co-host.
Steve Nash is my rookie. Me and Steve Nash are cool as shit, man. That's
okay,
my boy.
Good. Mm-hmm. Right, we'll see if we can't get Steve on the show. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, we got a number of people we need to follow up with you about getting on the show. Perk. We talked about trying to get Perk. We got to follow up with Perk. You got to make a call for Perk.
Can we get into this Kim Mulkey?
Go ahead.
Yes, that's what was going next.
Okay. Look, Rob's driving the bus today. I just put a bunch of stuff on the table.
Do we? I've heard the audio. Do we have the?
I got the audio.
Okay.
Yeah. So here you're gonna. It's hard to hear her a little bit of parts of it because she's off mic. But you'll hear the reporter's question that she kind of leans in at the end.
Second straight year, you guys get eliminated in the Elite Eight. Just give. Yeah.
Terrible or is that good?
Terrible.
How many Final Fours you play in?
None.
So it's probably pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess that's a student reporter.
I love Kim, man. I love Kim. I don't care what nobody say. I love her.
Kim gotta stop. Kim gotta stop her BS.
I love Kim.
Okay.
How many Final Fours you play in?
Here, but see, let me tell you why that question is so disingenuous. Mm-hmm. And this is someone who works in the. I mean, you work in the media as well, but a non-former professional athlete that works in the media. That you being eliminated for the second time in the Elite Eight in back-to-back years, it's a fact, one. Number two, her saying that because you have not played in Elite Eights, then it must be pretty good. That's only pretty good for a team that doesn't have expectations. You've won a national championship. LSU is not a program that is on the come up. This is not a Cinderella team. This is not a 15 seed or 16 seed who may have gotten to the Elite Eight and can say, you know what, we had a heck of a season. You know what, I'm proud of my squad for making it this far. We were predicted to finish whatever in our conference. We damn sure were not predicted to make it to the Elite Eight. But when you're LSU and you've been in the news, you've had Angel Reese, you know, you have Flau'jae. You've had players who have been in the national media. You've had very talented players who have helped you succeed and get to a point. You're not a startup program. So you have expectations. You have expectations of being one of the final four teams and eventually getting to the national championship as LSU because you've been there before. So the Elite Eight, in a sense, is a disappointment. The only reason she said what she said, because she was upset in the moment. That's an emotional reaction. Because if she was to settle down and calm down a bit and literally heard what the reporter was trying to say, it's a failure because you're LSU. You're not a startup program. You're not one of these group of 5 schools. You are a Power 5 SEC school who has expectations. And the expectation is not just to get to the Elite Eight. It is to get to the national. Yeah, you only have one national champion. But when you have expectations every year, I'm not saying that the Elite Eight is bad, but that ain't where you're trying to stop. So you can't hang your hat on the fact, well, I guess it's pretty good, but then you're going to go back to your office and to your team and know it's a disappointment. You can't play out of both sides now just because you're upset. You've been eliminated back-to-back years in the Elite Eight. It's not a successful season. You had a good one, but it's not a success. And it's okay. You're LSU. You have expectations. Don Staley would say the same thing. You're a prominent program. It's okay. But you got to stop with your BS, sweetheart. Stop taking your frustrations out on reporters who are doing their damn job. It's okay.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'll let Rob.
Okay.
I don't either, because it's all about wording. For me, he said disappointing season.
It is.
It's a disappointing season, but it's the wording and the timing.
How would you want me to say it?
It's just expectations weren't met. So how do you feel about this season? It's wording, man. It's like the time. It's like
he's not wrong. It's semantics. It's a way to piss people off.
It's like think about Purple Rain. When Morris Day walks by and leans back and says, "How's the family?" And then he walks out and we're like, "That's fucked up what I just said because man's father just died."
I get it.
But it's about and then also Kim, right? You know who she is. Mm-hmm. Now if this would have been Pop, we know Pop. Pop would have probably said the same thing, and everybody would be like. Because they think Pop is being nice, but Pop has really been an asshole. You're just going to take it as him being nice.
Yeah.
And so This is Kim. This is who Kim is.
You're right.
So when everybody takes it that who don't know Kim and be like, oh, she's being rude. Oh, that's just Kim. That's her. That's who she is. So take it for what it is. And the reporter probably was one of her reporters. Probably, I don't know who he is.
Probably.
And that's probably why she felt that, oh, you know me. So I'm going to give you that answer. And it goes to like there's certain players and certain, coaches that have a relationship with reporters. And if you are outside looking in, you fresh to the scene, and they say something, and you have that little report, then you say that, oh, this motherfucker rude. And now it's going to come across when everybody else is going to be probably in the back giggling because they have that banter going. So,
and I don't know the relationship if the reporter has a relationship or knows her.
Right. Is this a common answer for Kim though? It is, right?
It is.
So this, so this is why I love Kim. Is this who she is?
I'm with you on the sense this didn't jump out as like a how dare she? It was like, oh, okay, that's just Kim Mulkey being Kim Mulkey. Mm-hmm. And it's like, to your point about expectations, I feel it's unfair. And the reason I say that is it a disappointment of season? Of course. Is it a letdown? Yes. Did we got to get to? Of course you did. How many teams in the NCAA tournament, men's and women's, have humongous expectations every year that never meet them? Almost all of them.
No.
Okay, so we got 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four
First time
this
since
year.
2008.
Since the first time since 2008.
Right.
So that means that there are number 1 seeds every goddamn year that don't ever even sniff the Final Four.
And it's a blatant disappointment.
It is. It is but you can't say that just because the expectation is there, season's a failure. So many teams aren't going to hit the expectation because the madness is just, that's madness. You can lose. Getting to the Elite Eight is hard as hell. Getting to the Final Four is damn near impossible. Winning a title is even that harder.
I don't disagree with you, but we expect, think about it. When we think about, we talk NBA a lot. Take the Lakers, right? We've had, hold on.
You don't win it all, it's a failure.
So my thing is, we can sit up here and talk about, we've had moments even with that have the Lakers across their chest. We talked about this year with them exceeding expectations, because at one point in time they were as high as 3 in the West, 2, and we talk about, and crazy to say that the Lakers as an organization have exceeded expectations because of what their organization is about. And we know that because the Lakers have won so many titles and they have a history of winning, that the
right there, what you just said.
What?
So many titles. That's a difference in LSU.
Right, but LSU has one. So
It's a difference. But now you get into where, like, when you accustomed to something happening all the time and frequently, but see, now LSU's only won one. This is not something they're not Duke in basketball. They're not North Carolina in basketball. Yeah, they're not Tennessee basketball or in women's or UConn. Mm-hmm. Now, if UConn and Tennessee would say that, to me, it's all about semantics, like saying the wording. And it's like Kim has always been a great coach, and she's, I think she's won 4 titles. Was it 4?
She's
won a couple titles, right?
She's won a few. I don't know how many.
But she's only won at LSU, and so to me, this is when you kind of spilling over into another area that really doesn't apply to this situation. Because
well, what I'm
now
saying
you're talking
is
about someone's accustomed to something when someone's really not. LSU program is not. You know what I mean?
I get it, and maybe it was. I just know that I know when they have them conversations. Mm-hmm. I think it's easy to cling on to something and say something is a success when you're in a heated moment and you're frustrated, knowing that it probably wasn't a success, because if you sit back and you calm down and you relax a bit, it's kind of like, nah, we didn't have the season that we expected to have. And I'm not saying that, because every organization and program doesn't expect to have that expectation, which is why you have Cinderella teams. Yeah. Because they're not expected to be there. But when you're one of the top seeds.
Here's the thing. Now, were they expected to be there? Sorry to interrupt you on this one. That's the thing. I don't know what they were expected to do. See, and so if they're like a number, because they weren't the best team in the SEC.
No, they weren't.
They weren't even the third best team in the SEC.
What were they? They were seeded
you got
what?
USC.
Don't know.
You got Texas.
Yeah.
And it was somebody else that was better than them.
Okay.
I think Tennessee.
Okay.
So you got to understand. So that's why also you got to throw that into the fact that her team wasn't even expected to go that far. So that's why this is one of those situations where you can keep, pile on the rabbit.
Yeah, it's a semantics argument. It's how do you say that because you didn't get to the Final Four or win a title if the season is a disappointment? Because the reality is that is true of every team in every sport. If you don't win a World Series, the season was a disappointment.
I think it just depends on the team.
Yeah, I guess. Kim, for the record, Kim Mulkey's won 4 national titles, 3 at Baylor, and 1 at LSU.
So even from the standpoint from Kim Mulkey, who's won at numerous locations, like she expects to go into things to compete to win. Yeah. Even from a coach's standpoint. Like if Gino Auriemma was to leave UConn and go somewhere else, the weight of who he is going to that next location. It's not, he tried.
Well, no, but Gino's a different personality, though.
Right.
You got to run this through Kim's personality. Of course, if she's going to get that question, she's going to give you a smart-ass answer, regardless of asking it, because that's who to Rob's point, that's who she is.
Mm-hmm. Right. I just
you can't go, she's a rude person, like Stephen A. getting on TV going, she's very rude. No, she's just who she is, man. Yeah. Like, she's going to give you a smart-ass response. Pop's going to give you a smart-ass response. There's certain guys you can kind of, and women for that matter, you can expect that from. She's one of those people.
I don't have an issue with this question.
I fact checked myself. I'm sorry. LSU finished 3rd in the conference.
Okay.
And so they finished 3rd with 12-4. Yeah. Right behind them was Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Alabama. So
okay. All right. But I mean, to me, I think it's much to do about nothing a little bit here. Because it really just didn't come off to me like she was trying to cut that kid down. Yeah. It seemed more like she was just joshing with him a little bit. Mm-hmm. And everybody kind of spun that up because that's what we do in the media. Yeah. Got to have something to talk about today, so let's spin this one up into a story.
If you listen to all of Kim's interviews and the way she talks, she's a character, man. She's about her players and she's funny, man. Even when she watch now. Guarantee they're gonna have her on for the Final Four because she's such a wonderful listen. Yeah, she's
and who else is gonna wear that sweater? You know, ain't gonna be me. Ain't gonna be Rob.
Yeah, I guess my whole thing is I didn't have an issue with the original question.
No, I didn't either. I didn't either. I mean, I get.
But this was a good debate, though.
Right? Yeah, but I get what the kid's trying to say. But I like the debate about expectations.
Yeah,
because I think that's a fair point. Because I think it is a fair point.
Right? Because if you're a top coach and you think you're got a top program,
Sure.
you got expectations, and it's okay to
But
realize
when a
that you
kid
live
says
up
to
it.
you, "Oh man, failure of a season," oh really? How many Final Fours have you gotten to, kid?
Well, if that's the case, half the media shouldn't be talking to it.
Well, that's damn. And I will tell you what, there is an NBA player on this dais that would probably say the same damn thing to you. How many games you played in? How many NBA Finals you've been to? Because my ass been in 7. Just saying.
And I've never failed, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if he goes to a situation and they fail, guess what? Robert Ory's going to say it was a disappointment.
Yeah.
Because his
It was a failure.
expectation
And
is
he's allowed
to win.
to. And he's allowed to. He's allowed to.
I failed 8 times in the NBA. I was a failure 8 times, but 7 times I was a winner.
That's a heck of a record.
Yeah,
heck of a ratio.
Yeah, 50% ain't a bad number. I'm just saying, give or take. Most people are lucky to win 1 out of 20. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but I understand what the kid said, because I agree with you, B. Hart. When you have a certain standard and you think about what Kim's standard is, if you don't win, it is a failure. I totally agree on that part. But also, I think with Kim is like, you got to know who Kim is. But and I'm the one who truthfully, I don't care. And you learn from failures. Failure is not a bad thing. I've said this before.
No,
so if you don't win a season, you fail. You fail at your goal. If you don't accomplish your goal, you failed at it, right? So.
Let me give you my favorite one on failure from the great Les Brown, who's a great speaker. Failure is the tuition you have to pay for the things you don't know.
That's true.
And I love that quote.
True.
It's my favorite.
Yeah,
and it's just true.
Quote.
You're going to fail, and guess what you're going to do? You're going to learn. And you're going to go, okay, shit, I got to do this different next time. And that's the tuition you got to pay for the stuff you don't know. You got to fail.
Because if you don't learn, that's a hell of a lot of tuition you paying.
Oh, my God.
Hey.
Year after year, guys in the NBA paying that tuition. Shit. Yeah, exactly. Well, the last thing on the sheet to talk about, just going through the standings here real quick, because we're sneaking up on the playoffs. We've got a couple teams that are locked down. Lakers snuck that one out last night against Houston. Got that thing done. Trying to get in LeBron's head at the line. It seemed like right at the end of that game. He got that done. So Lakers are there. Yeah, they're in there. Let's start in the West. Thunder have clinched. They're locked up. Number 1 seed. They've clinched the conference. That's a done deal. Everyone else kind of up in the air. Rockets, Nuggets, Lakers, Grizzlies, Warriors, who, by the way, are 17-2 when both Jimmy and Steph are in the lineup together.
That's heck of an acquisition.
My goodness. The Timberwolves and then the Clippers, all of those teams are within about 6-7 games of each other right there.
I told y'all that would be a great position for Jimmy.
With 8 to go, everybody's kind of in the mix. But yeah, the Warriors 17-2 with Jimmy and Steph.
Hey, but how about this though? How about the Dallas Mavericks?
Yeah, Mavs and the
They're on a
Kings
roll right now. Man,
Mavs
just think
and the
about
Kings,
Kyrie didn't tear his ACL, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this: if the Dallas, let's say if the Dallas would have get that AC, OKC be like, no. But man, yeah, you think about this, man. This 43, 43, 43, 44, 46, 47.
Oh yeah, no, they're all right there. Yeah. No,
I think Denver and the Lakers are gonna stay put at 3 and 4, but those other ones, it's like, whew.
Stay out of the play-in, man. Stay out of the play-in. That's your only goal right now if you're the Lakers. Stay out of the play-in.
And the Lakers like, okay, do we really want to see Memphis or Golden State? Come on, Memphis, win. Because I don't, because Golden State.
But you're gone.
Is a different type of team with Jimmy Butler. We'll see. They get to play him in a couple of days.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a gauntlet left. You got the Warriors, the Pelicans, at the Thunder for 2 games. At the Mavericks versus the Rockets again, and then at Portland. So there's a couple in there that I'm like, okay, Portland, whatever. Pelicans, I mean, Zion's done for the year. CJ's done for the year.
Yeah.
They're pretty much folded. But Warriors, 2 with the Thunder, the Mavs, and the Rockets. That's 5 that if you don't put it together, you could easily drop.
Are the Thunder at this point in time, you got, 4 games left? You've clinched number 1 seed.
You've clinched everything.
Are you trying to have the best record in basketball, or are you just trying to prepare for the playoffs? Because do you play your best players, extensive minutes?
I personally, I think you do what you can to save your best guys for the postseason.
Yeah.
But you have nothing left to play for.
I think you cut their minutes down, and
you give them time.
You get their legs loose, so you don't want to sit them because you don't want them. No. You don't want them to go cold.
But you ain't got to run them for 4 quarters.
Right.
But here's the thing. I play them either the game 1 or game 2 against the Lakers because they play them in back-to-back games at home. So I only play them in 1 game. I don't play them in both. Because here's the thing. I'll play them in the first game. if I'm the OKC, I'm gonna try to kick their ass just in case you end up in the 4th seed and we see you again, we get a little doubt. And then I lay off in the second game. Y'all can have this game. We already showed you. This is what you're gonna get in this 4th seed. So me as a coach, that's what I would try to do. And then, give my players some minutes here and there because I'm like, there's nothing to do. As long as I stay 3 games ahead of Cleveland, and that's, if I'm a bet man, I'm still thinking Boston comes out of the East. I'm not worried about Cleveland having home against me. But still, though, that's the only thing I'm worried about, having home court advantage throughout the playoffs.
And really, that's the only thing you're playing for would be the finals at that point, right? Home court for the finals because you've locked up the West. It's done. You've clinched the division. You've clinched the conference. You're going to have the best record in the West no matter what happens.
So you say you could win 3 more games and you're done because then you got 66 wins.
And that's it. And that's it, right?
Cavaliers might not win all 6 of their last 8.
You never know the way they've been playing. Who knows? All right, so the West, we've talked about the West. The East, we talked about the Cavs. They've hit 60 games. The last time they won 60 games, LeBron and Shaq were still on the roster. Last time Cleveland won 60 games.
Yeah, that's true.
That is crazy. So they're clinched. They're sitting at the number 1 spot, but the Celtics are still 4 games back of them in the 2. And the Celtics just came off of a freaking road trip and a half, man. I think they went 6 for 6 on the road or something.
Yeah.
Knicks are at the 3, and all those 3 are clinched. They're locked. So you're going to have the Cavs, the Celtics, and the Knicks. And then the rest of the East, it's the Pacers, Pistons, and Bucks, with the Hawks, Magic, Bulls, and Heat as your play-in teams. Yeah. And the Hawks are locked up as a play-in team. I know that. Yeah. And it looks like it's going to be Pacers, Pistons, Bucks. It's looking like that's kind of how that's going to round out as far as the playoff teams go.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this Cleveland schedule, and you think about it, they have to, let's see, and I know OKC's probably looking at it also. They got Indiana twice, which, Indiana's trying to, do their
they're trying
best.
to move up, yeah.
They got New York twice, and so that's 2 teams right there. And then they got Chicago. They're trying to, keep their record. So only team they got maybe is San Antonio, who, riddled with injuries, and then you never know what you're going to get out of Sacramento because they trying to get in the playing spot.
Well, Sacramento right now, I think, is the 10 seed in the West, if I'm not mistaken. They're the last play-in spot.
Yeah,
So, and I think the Suns are like 2 games behind them or a game and a half or something.
Only thing I'm really hoping for right now, the Lakers in the 4th seed, so they're fine. If they can hold that.
Yeah.
I'm happy because the Hawks have clinched their play-in.
Play-in, yes.
So they're in the 7th seed right now. I always said Hawks to get a home play-in game.
That'd be nice.
That's all I'm saying. Give your fans the feeling of postseason. I'm not saying that you couldn't by getting in the playoffs regardless, but we saw this last year when they had to go to Chicago, and we watched at State Farm Arena. They had a watch party, which wasn't very packed anyway. Sitting there on the big screen, looking at them get beat upside the head by the Bulls, and I'm like, bro.
Hey, Rob, you remember Mad TV?
Of course.
Lower expectations.
Lower expectations.
And the fact that, man, we trying to get a home game for playing.
Well, here's the thing.
Trying to get a crowd, trying to sell tickets for one more game.
Here's the thing. I didn't have any more expectations than play-in anyway. So the fact that you are in the play-in and you could possibly get a home game, you keep that 7th seed. I'm cool. Because anything can happen. I'm just saying, bro. With the injuries and the fact that the Hawks are not very consistent, all I'm saying is, brother, a win is a win.
Oh, man. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do. See if they can make something of it. But playoffs going to sneak up on us quickly. We're only a couple weeks out, so should be a fun run here. Should be a fun run.
I watch way too much TV.
Oh, we all do, man. But a good Mad TV pull, by the way. I liked Mad TV back in the day. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then we're gonna play the horrible high-low game.
Let me do it.
God, was it Stewart? Is that his name? Stewart?
Yeah, Stewart. Yeah.
What
I can do.
Yeah. Here's what I can do. He was a freaking creep, man.
Yeah.
The guy who played Michael McDonald, I think is the guy's name, the actor's name who played him, but good character.
Oh, not that
Creepy.
Mike back there.
No, different.
Not Blue Eyed Soul?
No,
not
different guy, but same name. Yeah. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week real quick. It's going to go to Justin Dudley, 48-year-old single father from Maine. Here's why. His son Ethan was getting ready to graduate high school. Justin kind of not liking the way he looked in a lot of pictures. 343 pounds, a size 4XL. So he went on a mission to see how much weight he could lose before his son graduated from high school, changed his diet, changed his life, lost 180 pounds.
There you go.
Wow.
So he could take a high school graduation picture with his son, 180 pounds lighter. Listen to this. He was a self-confessed food addict. Said every meal he would follow it with a dessert. He spent $1,600 to $2,400 a month on ice cream, chips, and candy.
Dang.
That is an unhealthy addiction. But dude changed his whole diet, changed his life. He's down to like $300 a month on food from $2,400. I saved thousands of dollars a month. This was his quote, but would have been spent on junk food that was going to put me in an early grave. And lost 180 pounds for his kid.
Hey, man.
So big shot of the week, man.
Health enthusiasts always say that you can work out as much as you want, but 80 to 90% of you losing weight is what you do in the kitchen.
Oh, God, yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. So just big shot of the week, and if you're thinking about your health, don't neglect it. Don't neglect it.
Do
All
not
right.
neglect it.
Here we go. Ready? In honor of the joke that Rob starts the podcast with, a historically bad start for the Atlanta Braves. Of course, we know that both myself and Harper work for the Braves organization here in Atlanta. So, of course, Rob wants to dance on our grave a little bit, which is fine. No, it's okay. It's okay. You can go ahead and do that. We deserve it. We haven't won a game yet.
It's a long season.
Yeah, we got a long way to go.
That could be a good or a bad thing.
I don't know how we're gonna do here.
Got a long way to go.
This is my
time to get there.
No, we got 6 months to get there. We're gonna be okay. The Major League Baseball season goes on forever.
It does.
All right, so I wanted to try and lighten the pain of my own loss here by playing a little high-low with you two on historically bad starts for some players and or teams. So I'm going to give you a number. You both have to guess if you think the real number is higher or lower. That's all. All right, so we're going to start with Chris Dudley, who we all know famously from the Shaquille dunk where he dunked on him and pushed him to the floor, and that's the Chris Dudley. And he hurls the basketball back at him. He was a really bad free throw shooter. He was a 1 for 3 was okay for Chris Dudley. He averaged 45% over his 15-year career, but it culminated in a 1990 game against the Indiana Pacers when Dudley missed an NBA record free throws in a game. I'm going to set the number at 16. Do you think Chris Dudley missed more? Was it higher or lower than 16 missed free throws in a game?
I think I know this story.
I bet you do.
Let B Harp go ahead first.
See, when it comes to these things, because he played in the league in the 90s.
Well, that doesn't mean shit.
No,
he
it
didn't
doesn't.
play with Chris Dudley.
No, he didn't, but he did play in the league.
He was in Alabama in 1990. He wasn't even in this game.
Yeah, but still, I was born in 1990.
Okay.
Exactly.
Shit, I feel really old now.
Yeah, you should.
I was born in the 70s. I'm like,
I'm gonna say higher.
okay. Rob,
I'm go higher.
you're gonna go higher as well. Oh man, this is I would like to be able to play a sound effect if my computer wasn't frozen. You're both wrong. It was lower. He missed 13 in a row.
Still bad.
13 in a row.
I thought it was 18.
No,
20
no, it's
like that.
13. 13 missed 13 free throws in a game against the Pacers in 1990. All right. The only thing that'll make a sad Braves fan feel any better is taking a dump on the New York Mets. So in 1993, a string of injuries forced the New York Mets pitcher Anthony Young to alternate between roles as a starting pitcher and as a closer, and he pitched pretty well, but he couldn't close the deal. He lost a Major League Baseball record straight decisions in a season. I'm going to set the bar at 20. Do you think it was higher or lower than 20 straight decisions that he lost?
Higher.
Rob goes higher immediately.
Yeah.
Harp's going higher also. And, yeah, you're both right. Dude lost 27 straight decisions in a row.
I think I heard about that.
27 in a row. Dude could not catch a break. All right. Imagine.
It cost him $1 million.
Oh, probably every bit of it, right? Some kind of bonus he violated. Imagine, if you will, ready? A 9-year losing streak. The not winning a game for almost a decade is what happened to the Prairie View A&M football team. Fans had to live with that from 1989 to 1998. They set an FBS record for consecutive losses. I'm going to put the bar at 75. Do you think they lost more or less, higher or lower?
That's a
That's
lot of
75
damn
straight
games.
losses.
Oh shit! I'm gonna go higher just for the hell of it.
Okay. Rob's riding it. Higher.
Because
75
that number's
straight
so
losses.
high, I'm like, shit. I'm gonna go higher. Shit.
Prairie View.
Outside of H-Town, baby.
Yeah. I'm gonna go because that's such a long stretch. I'm gonna go over.
Everybody's going higher. Everybody's going to get a point. Yeah, it's 80, actually. 80 was the number they lost, including in 1991, the season. They gave up an average of 56 points a game in the 1991 season. So they had a bad
How do
stretch,
you
man.
recruit there?
No, you
As a
don't.
coach,
You
how
don't,
do
which
you
is why you
recruit?
lose for 10 straight years. Yeah, absolutely not.
And how are you the team that get beat by them? like,
Yeah, you're the team that led up a 10-year losing streak. You got to wear that forever. Yeah, here you got to carry that for the rest of your life.
I'm not gonna laugh because that is part of the HBCU family.
It is, and no aspersions were made in any other direction except for the fact that they lost for 10 straight years.
Because you got to think about one of the winningest coach ever was at a HBCU.
It was.
It was.
Right.
All right, let's go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They joined the NFL in 1976. They kicked things off by becoming the first team in NFL history to lose every game on their schedule. And they didn't score a touchdown until the fourth game of the year. That continued into the following season. They racked up an NFL record of consecutive losses. I'm going to set the bar at 29.
They were bad.
Did they win? Did they lose more or less, higher or lower than 29 consecutive games?
I think they were really bad. And even in them creamsicle jerseys, they were really
man.
bad.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
That was the
boy.
old Tampa Bay creamsicle.
I love those jerseys. I love those jerseys.
With the Pirates
29.
squatting in the three-point stance with the knife. Yeah. The old school Bucks.
I'm gonna say over.
You think it was higher?
Yeah, higher.
Okay.
I'm going under.
Rob's going lower.
I think he's gonna get this because we ain't gonna lower in a while. Pause.
0.2. Hey now,
Pause.
Robert Ory.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought
No,
so.
it was a little bit lower. It's 26. 26 consecutive games they lost, which is
See,
just.
that was the way my thinking was going, B. Just
Yeah, I
to
know.
let you know.
I gotta figure.
No.
I was like, he ain't done lowering.
I thought we got all the dick jokes out at the beginning of the show. Beginning of the show, we got all the dick jokes, I thought. But no, here we are.
Man.
All right, number 5. We got a few more to go here. The 76ers have had a dreadful season. Already eliminated from playoff contention, by the way. Congratulations, Rob. That season, by the way, this season's nothing compared to the 2013-2014 season when the 76ers tied the LeBron-less Cavaliers of 2010 and 2011. The two teams share the record for the most consecutive losses by an NBA team. I'm going to set the bar at 23. Do you think consecutive losses by the 76ers, the 13-14 Sixers, or the 2010-2011 Cavs?
Higher.
Higher or lower than 23?
Higher.
And you're both right. 26 was actually what they both rolled off a 0-26 record. Dreadful. One of the most recent embarrassing records of the bunch. Houston Texans quarterback Matt Schaub, friend of the station, friend of ours here at the show. He has one of the worst records in the NFL. The 2013-2014 season, most consecutive weeks with a pick six. I'm going to tell you that I'm setting the bar at 6 weeks. Did Matt Schaub higher or lower 6 consecutive weeks with a pick six?
I think it's lower, but not much.
Higher.
Rob goes higher. Harp goes lower. 0.2. Brandon Harper. No, it was only 4.
Yeah.
But it was an ugly 4. 4 in a row with a
it
pick six
was-
is ugly. They were to the Titans, the Ravens, the Seahawks, and the Niners.
Yeah.
He threw a pick six in consecutive weeks.
Yeah, I knew it was
For the
a lie,
Texans.
but I knew it was 6 weeks was a
That is horrible.
I just went for the goal.
All
Go
right,
for the gusto.
2 to go. The 2024 White Sox went down as the worst team in Major League Baseball history. They lost a record 121 games. during which time they tied the 1988 Baltimore Orioles for the longest losing streak in the American League at 25 games.
I think higher.
Was it higher or lower than 25 games?
Higher.
Everybody goes higher. Everybody is completely wrong. 21. 21 games.
They still suck.
Right? They were terrible. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Historically terrible. All right, the last one we're going to end with because it's the Jets. Of course, it's the New York Jets. Even with Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and all the stupid moves they've made over the year, they're currently walking around with the NFL lead on consecutive seasons without making the playoffs. I'm going to tell you it's 12 consecutive seasons the Jets haven't made the playoffs. Is the real number higher or lower?
Higher.
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking back to last time I think they made the playoffs was Mark Sanchez. I'd say higher.
Everybody's going to go higher. And everybody's going to get a point because they remember very firmly that these are the New York Jets. Yeah. And it's 14 consecutive seasons that the New York Jets have not made the playoffs.
And the craziest part is if you look at the Jets defense, you're like, damn.
Hell, they've had years where their defense was like the top-rated defense, and then they get a quarterback who just strolls in and goes,
"What's up, motherfuckers?"
And that's it.
Because the last time they were really
wash.
successful, Mark Sanchez, they went to the AFC Championship game, I think, back-to-back years.
Was that the butt fumble year?
Yeah. They did that with Mark Sanchez, I think, back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Rex Ryan was the head coach.
That's right, they did. And, that was the butt fumble.
Yep.
There's something that you get to attach to your career for the rest of your life. The butt fumble guy.